Hello. Let's go. Let's have that on the screen for ages. What's happened to my hair? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Board Games. Hopefully all this is coming through okay. And we can play, hey, big Euro ET games with solo modes by David Tascini. Are always really easy to pick up, right? We'll breeze through it. Hey, Dark Mind, Steve, Skip, Michael, Lacrimosa. No, I do not have a Lacrimosa play coming up. That I know of. But hey, if you're publishing Lacrimosa, get in touch. Right. Are we coming through all right? I've got a bit more of a delay on than usual. So yes, this is Tiletum, which is by Daniele Tascini and Simone Luciani, published by Board&Dice, the next in a pretty long line by now of tea games. And in this, we are going to be trading in Europe. We're going to be getting goods, we're going to be managing dice, we're going to be taking actions, bonuses and actions nested within actions and bonuses. Tons and tons of stuff going on, like with a fairly, like, this kind of what they're known for at this point. The actual structure of what you're doing on a turn, fairly simple to get to grips with. The options you have on your actions, even after you've picked a die, you're spending your action points on a limited number of things, but what you can get from that and the bonuses that you can kind of chain from each other can, expand pretty rapidly. I'm going to be using the solo mode, which is designed by David Tascini with Jeremy Avery. This time, the Cardinal bot. We're going to be doing our best to beat. Hey, Matt. I'm coming through okay? Great. Because I forgot about that and I was just rambling. So yes, the Cardinal bot's got a bit of setup to do. Well, I've done it. There's a bit of extra setup. Basically, we have these 4 fairs that are going to happen throughout the game. Loads of different city tiles, loads of different bonus tiles that could happen. But based on those bonus tiles that have come out, the Cardinal bot has some cards that correspond to those, and as well as those 4 that correspond to those bonuses, he has these same 2 out all the time: Everlasting Fame and Worldly Riches. They should be in a line, but one thing that the T games don't have is respect for my little table. Steps are being taken though to hopefully expand the space I've got for games, because this is pretty much it on this table. But hey, that's an aside. There are also these cards here. Depending on the difficulty that you're playing, you will play with more and more of them. It will make it harder and harder to win the more of those you have out. I am playing on easy difficulty. Mainly, hey, I love winning games. Not confident still at easy difficulty of this one, but most of all, I've got enough things to keep straight without extra cards and tweaks and bonuses that the Cardinals get. I've got enough going on over here. If the Cardinals relying on me to do all his bookkeeping for him, he can just have 1. So he's got deep coffers. When he gets resources from dice, he gets 1 more than he should, which, it's bending the rules if you ask me, but apparently he's allowed to do it. We've got this great big map. We've got an architect and a merchant. Mine start where they're supposed to, in Tiletum, in Tiletum. And the Cardinal bot, starts in spaces like the space that's got this construction bonus, 2 stone for 3 points. That's where his architect starts, and we drew a random city tile to decide where his merchant starts. As you might expect, he can bend tons of rules. He's got, as you might expect if you've played one of these solo modes, he's got quite a lot of text to describe every individual action, but they are kind of, they're flowcharts. As soon as you get to an option that applies, stop reading and do the thing. He's just got a lot of options, because the solo modes try and, like David Tascini's solo modes, they're trying to replicate the experience that you would have playing against people, rather than just being like something to beat your own score. He's hopefully going to be a dynamic opponent that, you're going to have to outwit. The Cardinal bot goes first though, so we can start off with him. Oh, I should be saying as well, if you'd like to support the channel and support playthroughs like this, there are a ridiculous number of them happening right now. Help my sanity and help me keep being able to do this thing. Patreon.com/slickerdrips. There's Ko-fi as well. It's linked in the description, I hope. And yeah, any support would be massively appreciated and is absolutely the reason. I mean, getting sent the copy, thanks Board&Dice, made it possible in one way, but my being able to be here today is yeah, all thanks to Patreon and Ko-fi and that. Right then, so we will, the Cardinal bot goes first, so let's cover what the Cardinal bot does, and I am absolutely going to be referring to the rulebook to make sure I get this stuff straight. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff stays the same. So the preparation phase I've already done. We draw 8 dice from this bag. It's different based on the play count, and there's a different number of dice in the bag depending on the play count. There are basically two dice that didn't come out at this point. Is that right? Are they the right colour? Oh yeah, they're 2 different colours. I thought they were the same grey then. Yeah, two dice aren't going to come out each round, and they're random numbers. The numbers that are rolled correspond to where they're going to end up on this wheel. They will also correspond to the number of resources of a particular type you will get. So of course you're like, well, 6. I want the 6 iron. Why would I choose anything else? Because the more resources you get, the higher the number on the dice, the fewer action points you get to take the action. So you might get 6 iron, you're only going to get 1 action point for this action, which in this case is the king track action. So yeah, you've got to juggle all of that stuff, as well as all of the extra stuff you're going to get later on. As it is for the Cardinal bot's turn though, we can zoom in on him, and this is the Cardinal, this merchant token of an unused player colour. He starts out on the leftmost card all the time. Now these cards, as I said, they correspond to those bonuses that came out, and they are in the order of the fairs. So the soonest fair is the highest priority, potentially for all others, but certainly for the Cardinal. So this is where his merchant card stands. We have these 2 completely unused dice that we will roll. The difference in these dice tells us how many steps the Cardinal is going to move. He's going to move 1, 2 cards, and this is going to tell us what his priority is for the round. As you can see, he's gone on Mercantile Empire, which is a pretty simple flowchart for us. You can see it's got 1 option here of what he's going to do. Other ones, it might be, can he do this? Okay, if he can't do that, has he got this waiting around? Has he got an unfulfilled contract? You know, that kind of thing. In this case, though, he is going to just take a merchant action. So we've worked out what action he wants to take. He wants to take a merchant. Oh, you can see the wheel here as well. So the merchant action, he's going to come here. Which die is he going to take? Well, he's got a choice. He can either take the die corresponding to the merchant action, which is what he wants to do. There is this Joker action that you can take, though, which lets you take any action. Now, he wants to prioritize the most action points. If the Joker action would get him the same or more action points than the actual action he wants to take, he would take the Joker action. As it is, though, taking the merchant action itself, because only 1s go here this round, it's going to get him 6 action points, which is potentially scary. But yeah, he will choose that, and he will take the die away. As you can see already, the Architect action's harder to take. No dice went there this time. He's taken the only merchant action out of there. You still do it with Jokers, and you can always spend gold to adjust dice around, which actually changes the number on the die, will change the number of resources you will get from the action, and will change the actual action that is being taken. It moves the die into a different section. Aware that I'm like looking to the side more and referring to this rulebook more. I want to make sure I'm getting these steps right. There's a lot of text. And there are also, you can see at the bottom of these cards, there are dice in different orders. That's if he had a choice of a few dice over here, that would be his priority. He's doing Mercantile Empire, we would look. So his priority would be the blue or light grey die. That's always split. It's always the same choice. It depends how much, what does he need more? Does he need more wool or does he need more iron? That will become more apparent once he starts getting contracts and things. But yeah, is it that? Then it would be pink, yellow, dark grey. As it is, it was made easy for us because there's only one die there. So he's going to choose this die, and so we can pop that on there. Your chosen dice go on here. Oh, before we even take an action, actually, forgetting stage 1, we reveal this corruption token. There are a load of these. You randomize them, and at the start of each of these 3 action turns that we're going to take, you reveal one. This says -2. We both move 2 steps back on this king track. At the end of the 3 actions, at the end of the round, we are going to score or lose these points, and then we're going to get reset. I get reset back to 0, Cardinal gets reset back to 3. We can move up here by taking king actions, that crown thing. So you're already forgetting a step along the way. There's a lot of steps, and I am at the moment doing a game a day. Hey Shai, how's it going? You can't wait for this game to come out. It's soon. Essen is so soon now. I'm not sure how soon it's coming out from, like, if you order it from Board&Dice, but I assume pretty soon, right? So yes, he's chosen a thing. He receives resources corresponding to the die that he took. So the resources that you gain, you can see them kind of at the top. You can almost see my trays. The different colours of dice represent that colour of resource. These are action point tokens. They're not resources. But he took a gold die, so he will get 1 gold because it is number 1 on the die. 1 pip, 1 resource. So he gets his stuff. If there is a bonus next to the action, just as a player gets to, you can choose to take the bonus. The Cardinal will take the bonus. He will take them away, and the bonus tiles, I'm pretty sure he only cares if they're crests. Yeah, if it's a crest, he does something special with it. These are crests here. If it's not a crest, it's just gone. You just don't get that now. So it puts you off a bit more doing a merchant action. So he's done this, he's received his resources, he's picked his die, and then we resolve his action based on the flowchart for that action, basically. And there is nice on the back of the rulebook, as soon as you've got a few games down and you know the kind of innards, it does remind you what he's going to do with the particular action. So at the start of the merchant action, and some things, if he's just taken a die, there's some things in the rulebook to tell you, well, which action does he take then if he's just taking the highest die of any colour? The rulebook does cover all of that stuff. Thankfully for us for this first turn, though, he's just taken a merchant action. So when he takes a merchant action, first of all, you check to see where his merchant is. Can he build a house where his merchant is? So on the map, you can see a load of spaces here. Some are blocked off due to the player count. So we're simulating a 2-player game. So any space with a number in it like these are unavailable. So if he had been randomly put in one of these cities at the start, he would have to relocate now because he can't build a house there. Or if I'd already been to this place and he was trying to build a house, he wouldn't be able to, and he'd have to move first because there's only a possibility of one person building a house here this game. So he doesn't have to relocate because there is an available house space. Otherwise, he would get to relocate for free. So we check if he can do all of this stuff. We don't have to bother with any of those bullet points because he can build a thing. He places a house in his merchant's current location. So there we go. That's where his merchant started. He's put a house there. He's going to be the only one with a house there at the end of the game. It doesn't cost him an action point. Find a bonus tile within the reach of the Cardinal Bot's merchant. This is a key thing for solo. The reach of the Cardinal Bot's merchant or architect. His reach is a number of spaces equal to the action points that he's got. So with 6 action points, that's 6 reach. That's a lot of the map. I suppose he's on one end of it, so it could be bigger. But he's got access to a lot of these bonus tokens, up to 6 spaces away. If it was smaller, he might only be in contact with 1, and he'd just take that one. But as it is, we've got to sort out his priorities. And he doesn't have to go there like we've got to. So yes, he doesn't have to move there and doesn't have to spend an action point. We can see on his player board here, his priority for the types of bonus tiles he wants. First and foremost, crests. There is stiff competition for crests. There are not that many about, and you need different crests to put down on your playboard. So does the cardinal. So we can both have our eye out for those. As it is up to 6 steps away. That's a lot of steps, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can get to London. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't quite get to Toulouse. So we can see, like, are there crests available 6 spaces away? Yes. There are 3 crests right here, right next to him. And he takes the best one. Well, they're all the best one. If he would have to decide between crests, first of all, he wants to choose crests that he hasn't got. And then his priority is crests that you haven't got, because first of all he wants a crest he can put down. Failing that, he wants to take away a crest that you can have. There is a limitation for normal players. You can't take a crest if you've already got that crest, but the cardinal plays by his own rules. So here there's 3 different ones that he could take, so we decide randomly. So it's going to be, I'm just going to roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we roll a 4, which is the one in Hamburg he takes. He doesn't spend an action point. He doesn't actually go there. He just gets to take this for free. It goes on his crest storage space. This isn't active for any purposes that want to score however many crests you've put down. It's just there in his storage. So he takes it without going there. Now we need to find a town with an available house space within the reach of his merchant. We've already established the reach of his merchant is massive, most of the map. So an available space with a house. This is also the first turn of the game, so there's a ton of those spaces. So if multiple towns are available, use the following tiebreakers. The town where the next fair will be held. Well, the first fair is in Tiletum, so we start with a house in there, so he doesn't have to worry about that. The town with an empty house space, which also has a printed points reward. So the printed points rewards are on certain ones down here. I think these are the only ones. Yes, down in the corner of the map here. You can get 7 points for building in these places. They're within 6. Tiebreaker then. Like he'll go in one of the point spaces and we just roll a die, I think, to decide which one. So what are the 2 options? This one or this one. Odds, evens. Change the criteria now, haven't I? He's going to build in Wien. Well, actually, he isn't going to build there. He is going to move himself there. That's his next priority. So when he makes... Oh, there's 8 points in it. Oh, yep. You are right. I'm sure that he'll go for the... Yeah, it's just point... It's towns with a victory point reward. Surely his priority would be the most points. If he can go to loads. Because usually, it's like if there's a tie, pick randomly. If he takes multiple things without moving there, without spending an action point, yep, here we have. Which also has a victory point reward. It doesn't say the most points, but there is there's a criteria I haven't accounted for there, isn't there? I'm not sure what he'd do there. Because it doesn't say the house space with the most points. It would make sense, wouldn't it, for it to be the one with the most points, but it doesn't say that. So there's 3 options that he could tie break, and we'll just use the tried and true. He is going to go in Venice anyway. So even if that is a secret tiebreaker I'm missing, he's going there anyway. The dice have decreed it. So that's where he's going to start his next merchant action in the future. He'll be able to build there and he'll score 8 points for it straight away. It would be nice for him to make a suboptimal move once in a while, wouldn't it? So I realise like it's like this with the Tawantinsuyu and stuff. There's tons of stuff up front and describing all of these individual steps and blah, blah, blah. I haven't even taken an action yet and I'm what, like 10, 13 minutes in or something like that? Once we get into it, and I don't have to describe every little bit, because it's the first time. So I'm describing the action kind of from his perspective as well, not even how we would normally do it. But in the future, we can just kind of go, yep, that's his priority. He takes this, he takes this. So that's all of his stuff, isn't he? He moves to the next town, and that's the last thing he does with his merchant action. The next thing is going to be, so you can see on the Flowchart of his turn, moving back to the leftmost decree, roll the dice, pick his decree, take a die, get the resources, the bonus tile if he can do it, then resolve the action. Then tasks. We go down, can he activate crests, can he build cathedrals, can he fulfill contracts? So not many of those things at the start, but that goes back to his turn structure bit. So first of all, does he have an inactive crest in his storehouse? Has that stream frozen? Let me know if you've missed any of that. I've just seen it spinning on me other screen over here. So has he got any inactive crests, and can he pay 3 food to place it? No, it did not skip. Maybe it's just my preview. Good to check. So yeah, does he have an inactive crest? Yes, he just got one. Does he have 3 food to be able to place it? He's got 1 food. He's got 3 food spots on his player board here to remind you for other purposes that he might spend resources. He doesn't spend food until he's got 4 or more for those other things. His food priority is to get these crests out. He's got 1 food. He hasn't got enough. Now, he can spend 2 gold as a substitute for every resource that he needs. He's got 2 gold. That's still not enough. That's still only 2 food. So, no, he can't place those crests. And he does that as much as he can afford, as many crests as he's got and as much food that he has. Has he got a pillar in a map space and he hasn't built a cathedral there yet? No, no one's put any pillars down. Has he got any contracts that he hasn't fulfilled yet? No, he hasn't. So that's the end of his turn. Whew! Right, we got there. My turn. So now, I wish I had cards telling me what I was going to do. Now we've got to work out what the best move is. So they're the dice that we've got available. Pretty much everything apart from 1. We can see the bonuses that we might be searching for over the course of the game. So the first fair is in Tiletum. So at the end of this, at the end of our 3 actions, we're going to evaluate the king track, then we're going to evaluate the fair. And so there's 4 rounds, essentially, with 3 actions each in the game. Your reward is this number printed on the board plus the number on the tile. So in this case, 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 points for every crest you've got on your player board. So crests even more important than they would be usually. So you can get a crest from out on the board with the architect or merchant actions, like the Cardinal just did. They are available in the contract display sometimes as well. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, they could appear as bonus tiles as well, because these are all just bonus tiles. The ones on the map are never refilled. The ones on the action wheel do get refilled. So yeah, it could be important for us to get crests out. So we might want to move our people around. Unfortunately, the merchant and architect actions are diceless at the moment, unless we want to spend gold to change the dice around, unless we want to use the Joker action to be able to take anything, which is kind of tempting actually because of the bonus tile that it's got and the massive number of resources it could get us. You also need food to put the crests out, just like the Cardinal does. So maybe we want to take a Joker action actually. Because the dice that's available here, we have a pink 5, so that would get me 5 food, which is pretty nice really, isn't it? I can grab one of these great big 5s. I've tried to do the display so you can kind of see at a glance the stuff that I've got available. So I'm taking a Joker action. This means I got my 5 resources according to the number on the dice, and I have 2 action points. I can spend these action points on any of the other actions, but all those action points go to the same action. You can't split them about. I also get this bonus tile. I can choose to leave it there if I want to, because it's taking up a space in my storage, but I can choose to activate it as well. And this is where the kind of nesting things end up happening, because I can now interrupt my 2 action points. We've got these tokens, by the way, to remind you. I've got 2 unspent action points of the Joker variety. But I could turn this tile in at any point on my turn to get 3 character action points. This is how we get these characters from this display. You see each of them is a point. Refreshing the display is a point, and putting them onto your player board is a variable number of points as well. Getting people in your houses is great. I mean, the final festival in Frankfurt is looking for houses that are full of people. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to work towards in the future. And getting that tile could be a really nice one. So what do I want to spend my Joker points on? I might just interrupt straight away and do those 3 character points. I could take 3 of these people. That would be really filling up my display though, and potentially not a great idea. Now, the character tiles have 2 bits of information on them. The big icon in the top left is, when they get put in the house, they give you this thing. So this character here would give you a king action point when they get put in a building. King action point moves you to the right on the king track. The bottom right tiny action is the action they will boost if you complete the house you put them in. Completing a house is entirely filling it with tiles. The houses have a different number of spaces in them. A house is a column, by the way. The house has to be filled with tiles of the same type. So if I took one tile with the crown in the bottom right hand corner, all of the other tiles I fill this house with have to have that icon on them. So you limit yourself in that way. There was a second point to whatever that sentence was. But yeah, to complete a house, you've got to fill it up with people. As soon as you've filled it up with people, you get this house into your supply. So putting houses around the map, the Cardinal is just laughing. He's got access to all of them. I've only got 2 at the start of the game. That's how you get more. Fill a house with people, which could just be a single tile if you want to go that way. Completing a house involves you also getting a crest and spending food to put that crest in the corresponding house. You get a lovely action for doing that, a lovely bonus. Could be points, resources, moving things, placing a house anywhere. But if you've done both of those elements, filling up a house with tiles and putting a crest out, you have completed the house, and you get to put one of these bonus action tiles out onto the main wheel. So if, say, I was to do this simple house here, I filled it, I would get the house. I've got a crest at some point and I've paid to put it out. I would get this +1. See, the easy to fill houses get you a +1. This great big house here gets you a +3. Because I have put the character action there of the crown, the king's action, my +1 would go there, the corresponding action. And any time I do that action for the rest of the game, I get an extra action point, no matter what it said on the wheel itself. I realise that's all just hypothetical stuff. I've just been grabbing things at random from the board. But that's how characters work and what we might want to be thinking about. So the characters that are in the display right now, if I wanted to fill a bigger house, I mean, there are 2 people there, both with the crown. They could go in a house together. Getting this person, though, would help me get characters in future. And as soon as they're placed in a house, would get me an extra character point. We have a character that would help you eventually boost the merchant action and can get you wool right away, or boost the architect action in the future and get you stone right away. I like the idea of being able to boost the character action. So I can spend one of my 3 character action points that I'm getting from spending this bonus tile. It immediately gets filled back up. Ooh. Okay. So now there's loads of... I could fill my massive house up. It takes a lot of action points to fill that big house up, though. And you've always got to bear in mind, your storage is 4 tiles big. You can't discard things from it. So don't just fill it up because it's really cheap to get these tiles. There's loads of tiles that you want. So yeah, now I kind of regret... I wish I'd gone for the crown ones that were out. So I've spent one of my 3 points. My second, I think, let's put this person into a house. Do I want to go for the biggest thing and go for a load of character points later on? I think I want to go quite small. And then we could get a crest and complete this house quite quickly. So I'm going to pop her in that house. That's an action point. So my first action point was taking the tile. My second was placing the character in a house. It only costs 1 action point because it's the bottom row. That house is now filled, so I get the house token into my supply. I can put that out in the map in the future. For placing the character, I get a character action point. So I've essentially got 2 left to spend. So the character that I just revealed, their bonus when placed is you can move your architect to space and you can move your merchant to space for free. Because I could just get someone and put them in a space straight away and get their bonus from the corner. Or I could just pick 2 of them up, saving them to kind of fill a house with later. We can get a lot of character points from the action that's out at the moment. They're 3s, so you would get 4 action points. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend an action point to get you. So we see a new person. Oh, so that's move your architect to space. And if they're in a space where they can place a pillar, place a pillar. Now I'm gonna bunch up. I'm gonna take this one. So more king points when they're placed. So I think that's it for my bonus. My actual turn. You remember when I said my turn was going to be quicker than Cardinal Bots? So my turn is I've got Joker points. They can go for any action. And I can decide what I want to do. So if I was going to go for Merchant, I could move my Merchant a step and get a bonus. Same for the Architect. If I was to go for contract, I could get myself a crest. Ooh, do you know what? Because I could complete a house this way. Yeah, I'm going to take my Joker points in contracts. So zooming back into this bit of the board. How do you spend your contract points? Well, you can get an available contract stroke crest. Contracts, they wait for you to fulfill them. And when you've fulfilled them, they go up into the corner of your player board, unlocking more pillars, giving you bonus points the more contracts you've fulfilled. And maybe other bonuses as well, like this here. Once you have 5 wool, spend 5 wool. It'll get you 7 points, maybe additional ones on your player board. And it will also let you move your merchant 1 space on the board. So that's the contracts, essentially. Then the crests are used to complete the houses. You can also spend action points to convert resources. So to swap a resource for something else. Your first swap gets you a bonus 1 of that resource. And it costs you an action point to do the swap. As it is, though, I think I'm just going to spend my 2 action points grabbing this crest. The crests themselves have no particular meaning other than you've got to get different crests. So as soon as I've got this one, the one over in Leipzig isn't attractive to me anymore. I can't get it. I can't get it to deny the Cardinal. So I've spent my 2 action points there. There are a number of tasks that you can do at any point during your turn. I've already done one that was use a helper ability on a bonus tile. So that bonus tile, using it at any point in my turn, that's one of my tasks that I can do. You can also spend 2 gold to turn it into any resource, like the Cardinal was going to do. You can fulfill a contract for free by paying the required resources. You can contribute to the building of a cathedral in a place where you've put a pillar. We haven't done that yet. And you can also spend food to move a crest from your storehouse to a building on your player board, and you get the bonus that's covered up immediately. So I can, for 3 food, remember I just gained 5, so it's all right, isn't it? for 3 food, I can move my crest to one of my buildings. It could just be this one here. The bonus is get 5 points, and there's no other bonus for this building. The character is already in it at the start of the game, printed on your board. But I've spent the 3 to fill this building up. This tells me I can get any 2 resources. So do I just want to get some more food? The gold is potentially a bit more flexible. If I'm going to go for more characters, that would be a good thing to do. Stone if we want to build the stuff. I think I'm just going to go for food. Let's see how that plays out. We could be looking at the contracts, you know, the contract wants wool, maybe I'll get that. And so we can cover that up. I have completed this building. It's full of characters and it has a crest. So this +1, it's not a huge boost. And I can't put the character boost, I can't put characters that boost character actions in other buildings. Now that's it. But whenever I take this action now for the rest of the game, I get a +1 to the action points that I would get. Have I got all of that? Oh, and at the end of your turn, when you've been doing the contracts, slide them all along and refill. These ones you don't need to slide along because they'll cost the same. Okay. my turn potentially took longer than the Cardinals, but it is done now. So second action, we reveal a new corruption token, which is -2. Ouch. Might want to do some kind of king action because I'm about to lose 5 points after the 3rd action set. And this could be another -1. I don't know if there's another -2 actually. Hey, do. Hey, Wizardo. How's it going? If you can find a Silent Green bonus somewhere on the board, I'll whack it in. If they've put that in as an Easter egg somewhere. Maybe that's an Essen bonus. Oh, I am forgetting though. Subtitle. Not that we have subtitles on the live, sadly. Who could type that fast? But I wasn't doing his deep coffers, was I? When he got the 1 gold, he should have got 2. Whenever he gets resources, he gets an extra 1, thanks to his modification thing. Okay, let's do this. Reset his merchant, back to the start. Roll his 2 dice. And the difference is how far he's going to move. 3. 1, 2, 3. Busy hands. He is going to go for the character action. The character, it's annoying, I don't want to do character action. I'm still going to get to, but he's going to decide what's taken away from me. Priority is going to be this one, comes before yellow. So he takes this and he's going to get 3, thanks to his +1 though, he's going to get 4 iron. So I'm just going to take this away and give him 5. That's going to help him with his contracts later on. Takes the die and puts it on his player board. And if he couldn't have taken the character action, he would have taken the highest pink die that's available. So when he takes the character action, his priority is to spend action points to place character tokens that he's got. Obviously, at the start, his first character action, he hasn't got any. So he's going to get some. And let me just get his little flowchart up to make sure he's picking the right character. So he gets... We zoomed in on that. Oh yeah, you could see the wheel from there, couldn't you? He gets 4 action points, and we can, if we want to, we can get tokens to remind us that he's got 4 to spend. So he can't spend 1 to place a character because he hasn't got one. He takes 1 from the offer using the following priorities. He ignores types he's already got 2 of on his player board. His houses have all got 2 spaces on them. First one placed costs 1, second one placed costs 2 action points. So if he's already got that type twice, he doesn't want it. He would then prioritise characters he's already got 1 of, because he wants to complete the set, he wants to complete the houses. So he can't do those. If there's multiple of the same colour, he will take 1 with the higher printed reward value. So sometimes things will give you 2 of something, you know, this one's worth 1 point, this one's worth 2 points. He would take the one that would give you more things. He can take everything in the offer. So I think usually he wants the things that are like furthest to the left, but in this case, He is able to take a thing. Usually he prioritizes further to the left, but it doesn't say he prioritizes further to the left for these ones. So I guess we're going to roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6. We just shrug. So who's he going to work on? 3. And he could take another one that would help him with the merchant's action. So that's one of his points spent. He's got 3 left. He's going to spend his next point. Now he's got a character waiting to go into a house. He will spend the action point putting them in a house. So that's 2 spent. 1 getting, 1 placing. Then, unfortunately for us, wouldn't he take the one with multiple? Oh, like multiple rewards, maybe. Oh, I see, because you give 2 things. Usually, like, it's like if they've got a quantity. But I suppose it's giving him 2 things, isn't it? He doesn't get these things, by the way. It's just how he might prioritize. Yeah, I like that logic. We'll go with that. Let's say that he went for the leftmost that could get him things. There is still another one of those out, so it's still going to work in a similar way. He's just going to get boosted in the architect action. So he took the architect, he placed it. Now he has a priority. He's already got one of these, so he would take this. There is like, I don't know, sometimes I suppose it's in the reading of stuff. But yeah, there's sometimes ambiguities on what it exactly means. I think it does tend to happen. So he can't place that one because it would cost him 2 action points. He's only got 1 action point left now. Oh, but the space would refill. So then I guess his priority would be to take another. It doesn't cost him an action point to refill the display either. Like, he only does that if he can't take any of these tiles. So then I suppose this one's got a reward of 3 gold. He would take that one with his last action points. So he's got a couple unplaced for when he does this next time. So we've resolved his action. Can he spend 3 food for 5 points? No. He's not gained any more food. Can he build cathedrals? No, because he's got no pillars. Can he fulfill contracts? No, because he's got none. So that's the end of his turn. Now, I was going to do characters. I'll get 3 gold, which is all right, isn't it? Because I will get 4 + 1, 5 action points to do stuff. And I could at least place both of these ladies, boosting my king action, and then take that maybe as the final thing. You just only get 1 action point. I could take the other one, of course. I wouldn't be able to complete the house because I haven't got a crest to place at the moment. I do want crests. It would be nice if I could just place more crests, so then you'd want the contract action then. There's a crest waiting right here. You can get crests also by moving around the map, by taking bonus. Oh, he would have taken this character bonus away, wouldn't he? Before you leave that there for yourself, it wasn't a crest, so we don't have to worry about it. He just removes it from the game. So if I took the contract action, I would get 3 action points, and then this helper tile, which gives me 2 action points, which I could just fulfill straight away so it isn't taking up a spot in my inventory. It's just then you've got the risk of having... If I got a crest, I've got the food to put it in a place straight away. But if I've got a contract, I'm not close to fulfilling any of them. Now, I'd be taking a pink die to do the contract action, which is more food. Great for putting the crests out. Not great for any of these contracts that are available. It is, you know, it's 5 points for every crest that we've got out on the board. Looking into the future, it's 5 + 3, 8 points for every contract that you've fulfilled. 3 + 5, 5 points for every house you've put out on the board. And 6 points for every full house. Not necessarily completed with a crest as well, just house that's full of characters. And at the end of the game, there's points for the number of houses you've got out, multiplied by the number of pillars you've got out. You get that many points. 4 points for every leftover resource. And you can get up to 30 points if you have completed every house. So full of characters and with a crest. That's 30 points for doing all 6. So we don't have to do all of this stuff right away. I'm thinking it might just block us up. Especially if the Cardinal then takes the contract action. But if he takes the contract action, I think he would take the crest away. I think that might be his priority. Or it would be one of these contracts that he could fulfill, actually. It's got a bonus tile, so that is more attractive. Just like the king action, it's cool. It would get me 6 iron, which is pretty great, and 3 resources of my choice. But in terms of actions, because you're getting so many resources, you only get to move 1 space on the king track. And I could get more spaces and potentially do more things by doing a character action. But you're torn between, if I do the character action first, he might do that and take the bonus away. Or he might do the contract action and take my crest away. And then he might score a load at the fair. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to hope that this works out. Not do contracts, not do characters this round anymore. If we did characters, could we fill a house with these ladies and then get a crest with the contract action? Because getting ahead on the king track, whoever's furthest ahead, as well as the points you're gaining and losing, whoever's furthest ahead gets this bonus tile for 3 contract action points. So I don't just want the Cardinal to get that, but it's a long way away, isn't it? With 1 action point at a time, 2 if you do the Joker action. Because if I could do a character action to get them in a house, I wouldn't have the crest to go and get the plus, though. I can't do all of that in one go. I don't think I can get ahead of him, because if there's a tie, usually in the multiplayer game, if there's a tie, whoever's on bottom breaks the tie, which he would break. But in the solo game, that doesn't matter. He wins ties. So I think we've got to give up on the king track. We could move along so we lose fewer points. It's just that going and doing that would give me 6 iron, so I could take the contract for 7 iron and get a load of points and another king movement. We'll see what's available when he takes an action. Let's just do things and stop talking about doing things. I'm going to do contracts then, because I could just keep this around if I wanted to, but I don't want to. So that's going to give me 2 bonus contract points, but I've got 3 right now. Let me take my 4 food. So I remember I've got that. So with my 3 action points, I definitely want to grab this crest, because it's here and available. That's taking up a space. But, you know, at any time you can do these helper actions. I've got 1 action point remaining. Pop that there to remind myself. I can spend my food. Where am I going to put these people? Am I going to get another one for the king action at some point and fill up the best house with them? Or should I just put them in there? Yeah, maybe just get them in one of these houses. The bonuses, by the way, that's put your architect anywhere, that's put your merchant anywhere, that's put a pillar anywhere, that there's space for a pillar, and that's put a house anywhere, there's space for a house. Or I could just get the 5 points, and that's just a done house. But no, I'm going to put the crest out. Over here, let's spend 6. And I can put a pillar out anywhere. So anywhere, you can see on the map, if we need to zoom in more, all of these costs have been randomized for how much it is to build these cathedrals. You can only build one of each cathedral. It's a task, it's a free action you can do on your turn, but to be eligible for it, you've got to have a pillar in that city. So ideally, I want one miles away. But you potentially need a load of stone. Like Bordeaux here, you only need 2 stone. And you get the top tile, which is worth 5 points, and the points that's on the building tile itself. 8 points in total. And it's potentially where he's going to be putting a pillar in the future, but it's not too far away. I might end up building loads of stone. I could take the Joker action and take loads of stone. Yeah, I'm going to put one of my pillars, start the game with 2 available, over here in Wien. And hope to get 5 stone, I think. Now I could potentially do some trades with my action points that I've got left. I've got 1 here, I could get 2 more. I could trade, say, food into stone and just do it right away. Now I've got a pillar there. But I don't think that would be a good idea. We should probably gain something. So I was thinking of getting this contract here. So I can spend this to get my 2 extra contract points. I was thinking of getting this one because I think I can get the iron to do it if Cardinal doesn't get in my way. So I'll take that. And so I've got 1 action point spare. I will trade something because you get an extra 1 of it. So I think I will trade wool into stone. So I basically turn the wool in and get 2 stone. You only get the bonus thing for your first trade, but you can spend multiple points to get multiple trades. Okay, I think that's my second thing done. I haven't got anything else that I want to do. I can't fulfill the contracts yet. Let's see how the third action is going to affect us. So we're not moving on the king track anymore. And Cardinal. Pop him back on the first card. Roll his 2 dice. I lost one for a sec. Roll his 2 dice. The difference between them is 3 again. 1, 2, 3. He's taking my character action away. So that kind of locks in. I'm going to do this one then. So he's doing characters. He hasn't got the choice of a die, but that gives him 4 gold, which means he's probably going to get to do a crest, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Something tells me I've got the bonus. Maybe I should have been leveraging this. Maybe this will work out, though. Right. Because I'm not going to get ahead of him on the king track. I'm just going to lose fewer points, I suppose. So he takes that. He's had his gold. He gets 4 action points here. His priority, has he got unhoused people? Yes. So first of all, he's going to spend 2 action points to pop him in that house. He's going to spend 1 action point, putting this character in the next house along. He's got 1 action point left. So we look over in the display. He hasn't got any characters to house anymore. So he's going to pick up a new one. Is there one that he's already got 1 of, so he can try and fill his house? Yes. There are 3 of the merchant characters. I suppose they get you 1 resource and this gets you 2 merchant steps. So this one is more things. So that'll be what his 4th action point is. Top up the display. And he's ready to do things in the future. But his extra things. Can he spend 3 food to put a crest in and get 5 points? Yes. Because he's got 1 food to spend, but every 2 gold is another one. So 1, 2, 3 food spent there always costs him 3 food, and he always gets 5 points. So he... Oh, dropped the wrong one. He has completed a building, in a similar way to me. It was a bonus for the architect action, so in the same way, he is going to get +1 action point when he does his architect action in the future. And his are ordered in a different way because his buildings are all the same size, but as he completes more, he'll get to the higher bonuses. So he hasn't got any more crests, so we don't have to worry about... He hasn't even got enough food anyway. Can he build cathedrals? No, he's not got any pillars anywhere. Can he fulfill contracts? No, he hasn't taken any. So that's it for his 3rd turn. And as for me, I think we had decided... So yeah, I can come over here and get 6 iron and fulfill this contract, and then get 3 bonus resources, but I only move 1 on the king track. But coming over and doing the Joker action, I could get my stone that I want, and then get 2 up the king's track, but I'm still going to be further behind. Yeah, this is the better option, isn't it? We come over here, we get 6 iron, but I'm going to step in, so now I've got 7 iron. Without taking it, I'm going to step in and fulfill this contract. 7 iron. I pop it here and get myself a pillar. And I earn 11 points. So I am briefly in the lead. And I move on the king's track. So move up there. I'm only losing 3 points rather than 5 now. The bonus tile is there. I can get 3 of any resource. I am going to... So let's not forget the action for the actual thing that you're on. That's 1 king point. That's move up the king's track. So I'm only losing 2 points. I'm still behind and I'm not going to get the bonus, unfortunately. But that's the way it is. The 3 resources, though, I would like to take... in stone. Yeah. And, you see where I placed my pillar? As a free action, I can work on the cathedral. I can help constructing this cathedral by spending 5 of my stone. So I've still got 1 left. I take the top cathedral tile, and I'm going to get 9 plus 9, 18 points for doing that. So that puts me on 39 for now. And I think that's all I can possibly do right now. So we are going to refer to the big main book and make sure I get all the steps of the king phase and everything. Because we've done our 3 actions now. The corruption things have gone. We've got 3 dice each. So... don't worry about the action phase. The king phase. The player whose marker is highest on the king track takes the bonus tile. So, those 3 contract points. Get thrown away. Yeah. If he gains a crest, he does this. If he gains a crest, he does this. If he gains any other tile, it's just removed from the game without effect. This should have refilled whenever someone stopped taking contracts. Then adjust the markers on the turn order track based on where we are. So Cardinal's going to stay first player because he's further along. Then we reset our positions. I get reset back to 0. Cardinal gets reset back to 3 points. Yep. And then the fair phase. So we have a chance to score points for how we have performed in the fairs. To be eligible to take part in the fair, your merchant has to be in this town, or you need to have built in this town. So basically for the first fair, you get participation built in with the setup of the game because you've got a house in there. You could have moved your merchant anywhere. Second one, I might want to get my merchant over to London so that I can participate in the London fair. So I can participate, and you probably won't be surprised to know that the Cardinal doesn't have to have anything built to be eligible. I think it's part of his priority that he will try and build ready for the next fair, but he doesn't. He doesn't really care. Yeah, he doesn't have to. He scores even if he hasn't got stuff there. So I can score stuff for it. It is 5 points for every crest on your player board. Cardinal has done 1, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have done 2, so that is 10. Oh, and we should have lost points, shouldn't we? Cardinal should have lost 1. I should have lost 2 for where we were on the king track. So I'm fairly pleased with that so far. We'll see though, because he's already filled a bigger house, hasn't he? Ah, what's the browser doing? Everything already going okay? Yeah, I think the stream has not been deleted or anything. So the cleanup phase. Any bonus tiles left, just stay as they were. Don't mix up the dice with his dice. We replenish any that were taken. So we've got some contracts coming in. Contract City. A crest for doing the king action. And the Joker, that's just get a Joker action point, isn't it? A single one. Yes. Still nice though. So yeah, we replenish the bonus tile and the one on the king track mind, which is now going to be 2 king movements. To help you out for next time, I suppose. Well, you don't have to spend it straight away. Shuffle all the corruption tokens, so including the ones that we had out there. There's 2 more ones and another -2 that you could have. You can't go below -10 or above 15. I was worried that I was going really, really slow, but I don't think that's too bad, because with any playthrough, it speeds up once you don't have to explain the thing you're doing for the first time. And this is almost a quarter done now. The next rounds will not take this long, he says. Hopefully. No, I think we're okay. So then you refill 3 face down. You don't know what it's going to be. And leave the stack there. Then all the dice go back in the bag, but not his special 2. And we're going to stock up the wheel again. Well, actually, that comes in the next preparation phase. The last bit of setup, which is a lovely touch. This rotates 1 space clockwise. And, I should have mentioned earlier, so the position that starts in is random, no matter what. And it's going to rotate every round. But the game comes with tiles that can replace these pre-printed ones, so they can come in a different order every game as well. Not to mention, there's tons of possibilities for the 3 fair locations here, and all 4 of the fair tiles. There's loads of different ones of those. There are loads more tiles that are going to come out, but also more available in a game with more players. And there is also 1 cathedral that is not available in each game. So that's going to make a difference as well, depending on where that is. So I'm going to trust that they're rolling enough in the bag. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Although I suppose I could be pulling them out in a particular way, couldn't I, to get what I want? 2s. So we've got some oh, that makes character actions very nice. So something that you might want to do is look at the... I don't know where, I can't work out where the 3s are going. You can look at how this is going to change next round, because the merchant action was amazing last time. If there'd been more dice in it, 6 action points might have been worth shifting a die to be able to do that, because now the wheel is turned. Taking the merchant action gets you a load of resources, but only 1 action point. And there's no dice in the architect's action. Okay, so that's the preparation phase done. We go for the Cardinal's first action, but first we need to reveal the corruption, which is 1 space down. And Yeah, we're back in the room, aren't we? Okay, we got a 5 and a 4. That moves him one space. Business is business. I can't read this writing from this far away. Has he got at least one unfulfilled contract? I tell a lie, I can. The italic part mainly. No, he hasn't got any contract, so he's going to take the contract action. Okay, there's the contract action. There's his die priority, but it doesn't matter because there's only one die there. He throws the bonus tile away because he only cares about bonus tiles if they're crests. So he takes this and he's getting 4 stone. Okay. All is still good. Phew. I forgot actually that I had a little panic about it, so I might have just been talking to no one this whole time. So in terms of contracts, his repeat until all action points are spent, do the first possible. Purchase a crest it does not have. Unfortunately, someone's bought all the crests out of the contract display. Purchase a contract it can fulfill straight away. Obviously prioritizing spending fewer action points. So he's only got 1 wool, that's out. 5 iron he's got. No. 2 of the same resource and 2 iron. He could do that as well. Let's check that's what that contract is. I think it is. Yeah, identical. When they appear on here, it's identical resources. When they appear in other bonuses, it's you can choose different things if you want. So let me get the full text, the full contract of his contract action, and just check his priority. Take all the ready contracts in decreasing order of victory point value, choosing the least expensive if tied. So he is after ones that he can fulfill straight away. What's the one that is worth the most points? This one. So let's make sure you get his action points as well, so you don't forget them. So he's got 4 action points to spend here. He's spending 2 action points to take this available contract, which he can fulfill straight away. He does not waste time placing this into his unfulfilled contract space and fulfilling it later and all of that stuff. He does it instantly. So he spends the stuff, he gets the 7 points in the king movement, and his resources are spent. King movement, 7 points. So that's one thing. Now, he hasn't got enough action points to take the other one. He could fulfill straight. And he spent this, so that's out anyway. So next priority is if point B was skipped and he's got an empty contract space, he takes a contract tile. Well, point B wasn't skipped. He did take and fulfill one, so he won't take another one. For each remaining action point, he's got 2 remaining action points, he receives one of his most required resources. How do we work out his required resources? And again, this is summarized here, but his required resources are: has he got a pillar somewhere ready to build a cathedral, but he can't afford it? No, but if he did, stone would be his most required resource. Then, has he got an inactive crest, but not enough food to place it? That would be his most required resource. Still no. Does he have 1 or more unfulfilled contracts? He would choose iron or wool, depending on what the contracts need the most. It's still not true. So, if none of the above are true, take gold. So he spends his remaining 2 actions, gaining 2 gold. Then we do his usual end of turn stuff. Has he got crests left to activate? No. Has he got cathedrals he can build? No. Has he got contracts he can fulfill? No. That's his turn, I think. So, what do we want to do? Well, characters right now, I'll say it gets me a contract I don't particularly want. But I suppose, like, do you turn these over when they're done? I'm going to turn it over anyway. We do want to do contracts. That is, we want something in London. We want a house or a merchant in London, so maybe we should be doing that action. And it does get us 2 character action points and a load of iron. It's just that one action point isn't going to get me to London, is it? You do the Joker action for that, and that gives you another Joker action somewhere else. I could do that later with the grey and get the wool I need for this. Yeah, let's do contract first. Character. Character first. I want the pink dye, because that's going to give me food, which I'm going to need if I want to keep placing these crests. So my ideal, I think, is I want to come here, which I'm doing now, to get tons of contract points. I want to go here and get this crest and pop it down at a full house. Oh no, the house will already be full. Oh, slide these down so the display is full. Right. Yeah, I want to go here. I want to go the king place once it's all boosted, because this house is about to get filled up. And then the Joker action will definitely be available. He might take that away from me. But the Joker action will definitely be available, so I can move my merchant to London and take part in the fair. I think that is the plan. So, getting this bonus contract will be incredibly helpful. Thank you very much. We have 6 action points. I can tell you straight away that 3 of those 6 are going to be spent filling this house up. I get this house. We've already got the crest, so it's completed. For placing them, I get a king movement each. So 1, 2. We're in the positive. And we've caught up a bit, and hopefully we can overtake him. And they boost the king action. My +2 goes on here, so I will get 4 steps up the king action, if that's what I choose to do. Then, I've still got 3 action points that we could spend. Who shall we take? I can't take her. She would let me boost. She would let me move my merchant. I mean, getting me a wool, getting me 2 wool, in fact, that's the wool taken care of, and I don't even have to think of it right now. I could get another contract later. Having even more, that would boost me with contract actions, that would boost me with architects. Merchants get me houses out. So I want I'm going to spend 2 of my 3 action points getting... I know you refilled them straight away, so this could change your mind, so you should still look. He would get me 2 stone. It's tempting, but no. Oh, there's a 3rd right there. Oh, she would have moved my merchant thing. But I don't think I'm taking more character things. And if I just take her, that's my storage full. And bonuses and stuff can't go there. So my 3rd action point is going to be to pop 1 in a house. Let's say this house. And I can move my merchant stand anywhere. I can just move it to London and not have to take the action. Ooh. If I get the crest and pop it there, I've got the food. So I immediately get a wool for popping her in there. That's all of my action points spent. I need another wool to be able to... I could fulfill it. I've got 2 gold. I could swap that for the other wool, and that's done. So it's something to do, you know, if my storage had been full, I suppose. No, I'm happy with this. Yeah, leave that. You can't do anything else, so let him have a go. Corruption. 2 spots down, back in the negative. Hi, Tamir, how's it going? 2 spots back, and it's the Cardinal's turn. Pop him back on the first card. We roll the dice. 5 and 5, it means he doesn't move. And let's look at the first... He doesn't get rid of these, does he? When the things end. You do. You missed that little box, didn't you? You remove this. when that fair's gone. I just thought it wouldn't really make sense for him to care about that anymore, would it? So, yeah, if you join in us a bit later, these should all be in a line, but, you know, for zoom reasons, I don't want to zoom all that way out just to get a couple more cards in a line. So his priority is, as it should be, the next fair. So has he got an unfulfilled contract? No, he takes the contract action. So he can still do it. He's just going to have to choose something from the Joker, which is going to take that bonus away, unfortunately. His priority is... if he doesn't care between wool and iron, he chooses whichever he's got fewest of in his supply. He's got no iron, so he'll take the iron die. That gets him 5 iron, because he gets +1 thanks to his challenge card that he's got. And he's taking the contract action with that die with 3 action points, because otherwise he couldn't have done it, because there's no dice there. Okay, so with his contract actions, first of all, he's looking at crests. No crests in the display still. Then, are there things out here that he can fulfill? He's got 1 wool, so no, no, no. 2 of something and 2 iron. That's possible. But so is 5 of something. He's got 5 iron. So he would choose this one, wouldn't he? He'd spend all 3 action points taking this contract, immediately fulfill it with his 5 iron that he just gained, and get 6 points. Oh, he just gets 5 points all the time. I tell a lie, he shouldn't have had a King's Movement, and he only gets 5 points for every contract. He doesn't care what they are, just gets 5 points. Still spends the stuff. That's his 3 action points gone. Does all of that. Has he got... He's got no crests waiting, no contracts waiting, no pillars without cathedrals. He's done. Right, my plan is still in effect then. King action. So, 5 stone... No, wool. That's wool, isn't it? Yeah, light grey's wool. 5 wool. I'm going to spend 2 of it straight away fulfilling this contract, which gets me 2 + 1, 3 points. Remember, we want fulfilled contracts for the fair. Why have I broken? Oh, because I haven't given myself the points. I've gained a pillar. 1, 2, 3 points. And I have 2 + 2 action points on the king track, as well as any other things I want to get up to. And I've gained myself this crest. So let's just like... There's no options of what you spend your action points for here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm moving up the king track. I can hopefully get a bonus here. Then my crest, I will put it straight out, because this is putting my merchants somewhere I don't particularly want them for later, because London's in a bit of a not great position, really. But yeah, I'll put my crest out. In this building I've started to fill up. I've got 5 food to spend. Now I've got none. And the bonus is, move your merchant anywhere. Now the building isn't complete yet, because we need that person in there. We need 2 more character points, which we could potentially get. But, for now, that does mean it's not the best use of that bonus, because I'm only moving them 3 spaces. But I'm now eligible for the London Fair, because my merchant or house is there. And I could build a house if I do a merchant action. So we haven't seen merchant or architect actions yet, because no one's taken one properly. Only the Cardinal did one for his very first action, doesn't he? If I was to do a merchant action, you can spend an action point moving your merchant 1 space. You can spend an action point taking a bonus tile from a place where they are. And you can spend an action point building a house if there's an available space. Architect action, very similar. Move your architect 1 space. You can place a pillar if there's an available pillar and you haven't already got one there. That makes you eligible to build in the cathedral in that place later on. And you can also spend an action point to take a bonus tile that's there. So there's a crest there. I've got that crest though. That's no good. I was panicked then. I thought they were the same crest for a second. Whew. So yeah, that's actually the crests that are out on the board. Oh, that hasn't been kind to me, has it? Getting more crests. A bit tricky right now. Contract there. 9 iron, but 17 points for doing it. Okay then. All that blathering has resulted in I was just explaining the actions as now that we haven't taken. So one more action to go. Back one on the king track. Still in the positive. And the cardinal rolls his special dice. We can do it down here actually, can't we? This space. 6 and 6, there is no difference. He is going to do this again. He hasn't got an unfulfilled contract. He's going to take a contract action. His priority is to take the light die, which is wool. So he's going to get 5 wool. Then he can't take a crest. So his priority is contract he can fulfill right now. He's got no iron. So it's just this one. He spends his 5 wool that he just gained, pops it down there, gets his 5 points. That was only 1 action point though. He's got 2 more action points. Since he got something in phase B, he won't... Oh yeah, he took that. Thanks, Matt. He took that Joker bonus action tile ages ago, didn't he? I was probably about to take that. Ooh. Hang on a sec. He's still got 2 action points. He took a tile. He took an immediate contract, so he's not going to take one to unfulfill, to half do, to store up there. He just spends his remaining 2 action points getting resources of the type he requires the most. He hasn't got a crest. He hasn't got a pillar anywhere. He hasn't got an unfulfilled contract, so he takes 2 gold. And he gets piling that up quite nicely. I suppose we could treat it as he can do... Oh, maybe he would spend his other action points doing another contract, because he can spend gold, can't he? He might spend... Like, he's got a wool. There's your other wool. There's your iron. He can do this. And remember, he's eligible for that completed contracts thing. Let me just check. I'm sure he'll pay gold if he... Explaining 6C. On tiles with any resource, he'll choose gold the most. He'll never spend stone on contracts. Yeah, he'll spend 2 gold for each missing wool or iron. I think he would do that. Because that's another 5 points for him. Rather than just getting 2 more gold, he has spent all his gold now. That's another 5 points. It's another 8 points in a minute. It's scary in London. I've done 2, but he's done 4 already. Ooh. I haven't had an action yet, but okay. Now, what I was thinking about exactly that, Matt. I was thinking, if I choose this action right now, I get these 2 bonus character points where I could fill this house and get a +2 on merchants. Does that apply right now for the action I am taking in the middle of it? And I would get 3 action points rather than 1. I'm not sure where in the rules it describes the pluses. It describes like how you complete a building, but in terms of like just quickly looking it up, I'm not sure where it is in the rule book. If you complete a building, from this point onwards, you have a bonus every time you select that action. This applies when you choose that action with the Joker action. Doesn't apply. Yeah, you don't get any bonus. Like, I've got +1 on character. It doesn't get +1 on this tile, but it does get +1 if I choose Joker and then... So I could choose King again and get further along, but he's not going to get further than me now, is he? Yeah, it would be good for later. Because you want houses and pillars about. I feel like I wouldn't get the +2 right now. You check if anyone's asked on Board Game Geek or anything, let me know. But my gut is I wouldn't get the +2 right now because I've already picked it. So I'm picking this, but I'm happy to be proved wrong on that. I would get 6 iron for contract purposes later. Oh, it should be filling these up as well. Because it might be worth, if a crust comes out on the old contracts, there's not many tiles left in the contracts. So I get me 6 iron. I get the bonus. I'm going to use the bonus to spend my 2 points to fill this house up. Gets me another iron, because that's her bonus in the corner. I get the house. We've completely filled this up. I've already put the +2 out prematurely. But yeah, I feel like I would not get the +2 now. I get 1 merchant action point, which is still okay, because what we can do is, like this bonus tile, I think just adds 1 to the action that you're doing. Yeah, add 1 to your current action. Can only be applied to the die you're taking, the action you're taking with a die, not with a helper tile. So that's just +1 for the future. I can't take the crest because I've already got it. So my option is take that lovely bonus tile. I've only got 1 action point. Take that lovely bonus tile, or pop a house down here. It's not necessary because I'm already in here for the London Fair. But at the end of the game, you get points equal to houses multiplied by pillars. That's not going to be huge looking at what I'm doing right now, but it could be. I mean, we want houses out for the next fair, don't we? House. I've got loads of houses out. There we go. It takes up a space as well, doesn't it? So, yeah, there's my 1 action point. Build a house. I've got nothing else to do bonus-wise. Oh, thanks, Steve. I feel like that would be... It says now and in the future. That's the weird thing. Now and in the future. Because all I would do with the extras is I would probably just move 2, or I'd get this as well. I don't know. We'll say I don't get it, and then if we lose, that's why. Got it, like, we were too generous to him. That's 3 actions done. So, king track. Make sure you get the steps right. Still not confident. There's no, unfortunately as well, I know that the actions, once you start doing them, how you spend the action points is fairly obvious once you've got, like, the game down. But the actual structure of the round and what you do for... yeah, there's not a million steps, but it would be nice to just have it on here. Because the solo one, while that is much more complicated, it's much appreciated that that's all printed on the back. Would have been nice, as lovely as the art is. Be nice to have a little something on the back. There is a nice little thing on BGG summarising what you can spend your action points on. But yeah, just for the king phase and the fair phase and all of that, just to have it in front of your face, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? So yes, I get or discard this bonus tile. I'll get it. There's no point spending it now. And I don't think you can outside your turn anyway. So in the last round, there won't be 1 there and you get 4 points. If multiple players are tied... Yeah, we're not tied. So then points. I get 2. He gets -1. Then... So we are going for completed houses as well, aren't we, for Fair 4? I've got a way to go, haven't I? Bordeaux and Frankfurt. We can do it. We've got the +2 now. So we've done that. And then... If you're above, you don't get moved back down to 0. If you're in the good spot, you stay there. He gets moved to a minimum of 3 points because he's the cardinal. Oh, and player order. Guess who just stepped into first place? So the fair, I'm eligible for it because I am in London and have a house in it. So we're both eligible because he gets to ignore all of that. I have done 2 contracts, so I score myself a lovely 16. What's that, 68? He, on the other hand, has done 4 contracts, which is a spicy Oh, it would have been so good if I'd been able to work that out straight away. 32 in it. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Our beautiful lead. It might only be 3 points, but it's been usurped. Fair scoring. Yeah, flip the thing face down. He gets rid of that card now, doesn't he? And that's that. He's got a nice, easy to display row of cards now. Done that. Then action wheel. Do we need to replenish bonus tiles? Yes. A lovely crest that I need. Merchant points, always appreciated. This lets you change the colour of a die that you're taking. Another different crest. I know that they're not like the most important, but they are really, because if we're going to be completing houses for this, and I'm pretty good at character actions anyway, if you complete the houses, so they're full of people and they've got crests, all 6 of them, 30 points. And even 5 is 20 points. There's 2 crests for the taking. Because you can't rely on them coming out of the contracts display. And although having said that, there are only 4 more tiles in the contract display. And they don't refill in the map. Okay, we've refilled those. Shuffle your corruption tokens and get them displayed again. A 0 didn't come out this time, did it? Haven't had a sip of my drink. Wondering why my throat's a bit sore. You've been yammering on for an hour and a half. Oh, looked at that one. Don't look at them. Put them face down. Would have been a nice 0 as well. Though I don't mind moving back. I can move forward better than the Cardinal can. There's 3 that I don't know what they are. Show the corruption tokens. Put the dice back in the bag. And you. And you. Rotate the action wheel. So character, 7 action points straight away. So it costs 6 to fill that up. 7. And then getting the people in the first place, and they have to be the right kind. 11 action points. Maybe more refreshing the display, but that's doable, isn't it? If I'm getting 7 a time, 2 character actions, it's only round 3. I don't have to do it this round. So what do I need? I need the contract action and the architect action. There's 2 architect guys right there. I need a 3rd come out in the future. Okay, let's see what dice come out and what they're going to get us. It's good, isn't it? Okay, we've got... Oh, turns out I am rolling them this time. There's 4. I think this is another 4. Okay, we've got 4s, 2s, a 5, would you believe? And a 1 and a 3. There we go. And there we go. That round was only half an hour. Only. Right. That's the preparation phase. I am the first player this time. Corruption track. Get back 2 spaces. Oh, we haven't filled the bonus here. 3 resources. It's still nice, isn't it? Nice to have anything. Okay, then. So there is only 1 die in characters, though. I mean, I'm heavily leaning towards it. It's a load of character points, filling that up. I know we want merchants right now, but I get 4 points there. I could do the contract and get 3 merchant, depending on what the Cardinal does. It's just there's only 1 here. And I want that crest. What it comes down to. I'm going to take that for my single gold. You're going to need food, though, if you want all these crests going in. Oh, the pink die. Only 1 pink die came out, and it's only a 2. Oof. Might need contracts cards for that. Or, right there. Okay, get me a crest, please. And we could spend 2 king points as well. So I've got 7 action points here. Let's see. Do I want 2 stone more, or do I want to move my architect to space more? These are no good because I can't put them in buildings because I've already got buildings full of that character. Can't have multiple. I want him because I want to move my architect. You're not going to take that action right away, though, are you? Yeah, but every little helps. I was thinking, like, there's a nice... You can't quite see Paris here, can you? Like, in Paris, very cheap cathedral, not that many points. Still 5 points for 2 stone. And if my architect was here, I could get a pillar down there. I could get that, maybe with the Joker action. I could take that for 3 wool, and I could get 2 wool from him. I'm going to take move my architect. You just got to decide because of refilling straight away. Okay, so now we've got options. Do we go for boosting the architect action? Who are we going to put in the big building? Is it going to be go for architect fellas or contract kings? You can just take one. You don't have to decide just yet. So you get me wool when you get put in a place. Refresh. Well, there we go. There's 2 more, so I think that's decided it. So that's 2 character action points spent. 3 puts you in there, and I can move my architect to space. I'm going to move him to Paris. 4 gets him. 5, 6 puts him in there. I can put a pillar down as long as I haven't already got a pillar where I am. So I can put a pillar in Paris. I've only got 1 more action point now, though, haven't I? Oh, refill your space. I do want to get him so he's locked in. I don't need these now. He is my key, isn't he? But the Cardinal isn't going to take him. I can't place him in right away and get the stone. But on the other hand, I could place him in right away and get the wool. And that's another full building. Because he might wipe the display. No, he's got loads of people that he could take. Take him, take him, take him. Yeah, he's not going to clear my person out. Let's just spend the last action point placing him. Get 2 wool and another available building. Got loads of wool. And yeah, I can hang on. I can hang on to this at the moment, can't I? I don't really know what I'm going to use it on. So there's my action. Not doing any other stuff because I haven't quite got the stone. I don't think it's worth, especially since he hasn't got a pillar in here. It's not worth me turning the gold into stone to do this right now because he's not in a race. You can't see where I'm pointing. Paris. Couldn't get to Bordeaux because my architect wasn't there to put the 3 pillar down. Had to be where my architect was. Okay, Cardinal. Sorry for the delay. Could be first player into... Okay, 4 and 4. He's just doing the first thing all the time now. Mercantile Empire. So he's doing a merchant action, which he hasn't got a choice of. So he is taking 6 gold. That's a big old chunk of gold, isn't it? And remind me of his merchant action. He has done one before. First of all, can he build a house where he is? If he can't, move him. He can. Then, build a house in his location. He gets 8 points because that's the bonus underneath that house space. It's why he went there. Take the best bonus tile within his reach. His reach is just 2 action points. Can he take a bonus tile within 2 action points? That's 2 spaces away from him. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, basically. So then he's got to extend his reach. This is where he burns through gold, which is nice. Check what he's doing. So he places a house, then find a bonus tile. Oh, he doesn't extend his reach for this. He does if he can't get to a place when he's moving his thing. But actually, he just doesn't get a bonus tile. There's none within 2 spaces of him. Oh no, right here there's one. Right here where he is. So he takes this one. It's the only one within his range. He doesn't extend it. And he just discards it. He doesn't get the 4 points actually, does he? He discards bonus tiles. Takes it though. He would like one with a crest on it. If he had a bigger range, he could have grabbed that one. Then he wants a town where the next fair would be held. Can he get to Bordeaux? No, it's miles away. He's only got a reach of 2. Town with an empty house space, which also has a printed victory point reward. He can get 1, 2, 1, 2. No. The closest he can get is Milano. Then with an empty house space that has a different reward. No, that's not in this number of players games, so he can't go there. Then just the closest town. Okay, well, he can go to Verona. That's quite good for us, actually. He went into a very nice space, but now he's kind of stuck. He is going to pop a thing down and probably get some points for it at the end of the game, but he's not going to get any extra bonuses, and he's kind of far away. He will get to take part in the fair, though, because he ignores the normal restrictions, whereas I've got to make sure... Ooh, that's a bit of a wake-up call, isn't it? I've got to make sure my merchant gets to Bordeaux. That should be doable, though, shouldn't it? Okay. So then he's got no crests, he's got no contracts, he's got no pillars, so no more extras for him. Second action, we move 1 space back. So my thinking now, do I... I think it's kind of decided, actually. I think I need to take the Joker action, which would be 4 plus 2, 6 merchant action points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're in Bordeaux. I would also get this bonus tile for plus 3 action points for the action you're currently taking from the die. I could use those extra 3 action points to pick up this contract for wool that I can fulfill straight away, so it's probably a good idea. It's a bit late for, a number of different contracts, but it's just there, isn't it? Or we could just start moving to Frankfurt, which we need to do at some point in the 4th round. Or I could just do the contract action, and then I would get 3 merchant points. But no, I think you need to do this, don't you? Because you still get your pluses and everything. And this does get me 3 stone, which would help me build the Paris Cathedral. Doom. Say boom and done together. Doom. 3 stone. So I'm just going to spend 2 of it straight away. Let's build in Paris. 3 plus 2, 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do that because I've got my pillar there. I can only build in each cathedral once, so I've never gone back to try and build up the 5 here. Then I'm taking this plus 3. I'm spending it straight away. So I've got 4, 5, 6, 9 action points on my merchant. Do I want this plus 1 for later while I'm in London? Do you know what I could do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. If we want to leave things up to chance a bit more, or potentially have to spend gold to backtrack, what I could do with these 9 action points is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop in Frankfurt and build a house, then we're sorted for the next fair. That's 6 action points. 7, 8, 9 leaves us in Paris. Cross our fingers that this is still available for these 3 merchant points. And then with those 3, we grab this contract, fulfill it. 2, 3, we're in Bordeaux for this fair. Don't have to build the house, just have to be there. But if the cardinal takes that bonus tile away, which he very well might do, he took this one away, didn't he? And I forgot. If the cardinal takes that away, then I'm stuck. Also, wouldn't it be good to beat him on the king track and get another missing crest for all the points as your last thing? And still getting some resources of some description. Yeah, spend your 9 just getting there. 1, 2. Could pick this up for 2 gold and 2 points, but it's not a lot, is it? Three. No, let's just do it. 4. I will pick this contract up. 5. 6, 7. 8. Build a house. Now, do we want to backtrack and get to Frankfurt? Because I can't teleport him, I don't think, another way. I can, though, with this bonus here, 6 for 6 food and putting a crest down. Put a house anywhere. So we don't need to get back to Frankfurt. And Toulouse down here. You see Toulouse? Yeah. This lovely icon here is activate the top left corner of all of the people in one house, which could be quite nice. Right, that's what we're doing. I've done that. I've got this wool contract. I might as well fulfill it. 3 wool is no problem. That is worth 4, 5, 6 points to me, and I've unlocked another pillar. So, snap. 79 points each. Okay, Cardinal is rolling his dice, and he gets something different. 1, 2, 3. He is going for Worldly Riches, the highest die of any colour. And then his priority is the most required, which unfortunately is all a complete tie, isn't it? Because I need to refer to the bit that says, what action does he take then? Because his priority for dice is the most required. Bags. Oh, you're right. I can change a 4 to take a merchant action. And I think I should do that because, sorry, Cardinal, for sidetracking. I could build here. 1, move, build, grab this for 3 architect's points. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm eligible to build this cathedral. That's probably the move, isn't it? But Cardinal, it's just a bit strange because he hasn't picked up a crest. Oh, he's doing this though, isn't he? He's getting him away. He's taking a crest away. But he hasn't got a crest right now. That doesn't influence his decision. He's got to pick a die first. So he hasn't got any contracts. So I think it's just what he's got the least of. He hasn't got any iron, so he would take the iron die, I think. So he gets 5 iron. And then we know he's doing the king action, because that's where he took the die from. That's got to be the decision, right? Yeah, if it's from a specific action, resolve that action. So he gets 3 action points, 1, 2, 3 on the king, and he takes the crest, which is the only bonus tile. If he takes a crest he needs, it goes in his space. If he takes a crest that you needed and he doesn't need anymore, he throws it away. Horrible, man. Remember when I said I hadn't drunk anything about 20 minutes ago? And then talked for 20 more minutes. Right. So now he has got a crest waiting. Can he spend 3 food? Yes, by spending 6 gold. That goes out, but he hasn't been doing his character actions. He does get 5 points for it, though. And he hasn't got any unfulfilled contracts. He hasn't got any pillars with unbuilt cathedrals, so that's it for him. Okay, then. So if I do contracts, I get 5 points for contracts, and I do have a load of iron. I don't have 9, unfortunately, but I could trade to get 9, and that's 17 points. And I still get 3 merchant points. I wouldn't be able to build in all. And I could get some food, working toward the 6 that I need. Yeah, you got to do that. I do want the extra merchant point there, but I don't get any bonus and stuff. I'm going to get 2 food here. There's always the king action, but the king action is just to get 3 resources. I could probably get that from somewhere else. Because I could activate, move my architect's 1 space and put a pillar down. There's nowhere within a range of 1 that I can put a pillar down with. 2 king movements does put me back into the positive points. Otherwise, it's just resources and a single character point. I guess the single character point could get me the last character that I need, and then I only need 3 character points to pop them down later. I'll probably go for an iron on a wall, though. Yeah, I'm spending my 3 merchant points if I haven't said what I'm going on about. Down here in Toulouse, first merchant point spent building that. I can activate a building of people. And it would be a 2-point swing to get back up there, but I think resources. But if you're in the positive, you'll stay in the positive for next time as well. Yeah, king movements. That's what I'm having for activating the thingies. Then I've got 2 more points. 1, we won't build just yet. We'll do architect. Now, if I'd skipped that, though, you wouldn't get to activate a building. It would have been nice to do this first, but you can't do things in that order. I'm going to spend these. 1, 2, 3. Pop a pillar down. And pillars multiplied by houses right now is looking fairly nice because I've got 2 stone sitting right here in my supplies. Yeah, I'm going to do it for 5 plus 3, 8 points. That's a sharp jump off, isn't it? Yeah. So 8 points. So 87 to 84 at the moment. Then that's all of those points gone, isn't it? Yeah, all of your extras are done. We are back to... Oh, that's spent, isn't it? 5 contract points. I was thinking about... No, you can't refresh this display. I've got 7 iron right now. I was thinking about grabbing this. I could just grab both of these and then I wouldn't have any action points to convert anything with. But if I did, yeah, if I did that, I can't fulfill any, and my storage is then full. I can always get the 2 king points. There's no point getting them right now, really, though, because he still beats me if I tie. Well, this is my 3rd action, isn't it? We should have revealed this. 0. There we go. Lucky. Whereas if I just take this one and maybe one for fewer points, much easier to fulfill, I might get another one later. I would still have 2 action points left over where I could do some trades. Like a wool for an iron. And remember, your first trade gets you a bonus 1 of that resource. So there's my 9 iron sorted. That one's fulfilled. I've got the 2 wool for this. Just got to get 2 iron in the future. Which should be easy enough to get. Last action point could just be turning a gold into a food. Gold is flexible, but I want 6 food as soon as possible to put a house in Frankfurt for the thing. Yeah, let's take those. I've got my 9 iron, so I'm just going to fulfill this straight away. There's another pillar unlocked. I get 21 points. So that puts me on 108. Get me plus 100 flag out. I don't want the king points. I can't afford to do that. So I think, yeah, there's 3. 2 trades is 5. We are done with the contract action. Fill up the contracts. Any crests left in there? Why'd you come out now? I need that crest and the other one. Are they in the deck? I hope if he comes though, he'll take the crest. Ah, that's frustrating. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all the crests. Because I need the one he took from the king action. That's probably not coming out in a bonus tile, is it? Let's see. I don't think I can do anything else bonus-wise. I could have spent my gold, actually, if I hadn't turned it into a food. Could have spent 2 gold, 4 gold into 2 iron to fulfill that contract, but no. Because your last contract is worth 12 extra points. There's a lot in it. Okay, I'm done. Cardinal then. Pop him back there. Roll his dice. He is doing 0, which is a merchant action, which he can't do. So then what? You move to the right. I don't know why I'm looking it up. You move to the right card and then try and do that one. Can he do a character action? No, because there's no dice in character. There's no dice in Joker. The highest pink die, can't do it. Okay then. Has he got more or equal houses than pillars? Yes. He takes an architect action. He can't. So in that case, he takes a merchant action. No. None of it. So he's got no gold to be able to adjust things. So he just takes the highest die of any colour. Glad I didn't bother with the king action because he's doing it again. So the most required... He hasn't got a pillar anywhere, so stone isn't required for him. I think it's just potential for contracts, isn't it? Needs more for cathedral would be stone. Inactive crest. No, he's done his crest would be food, but he can't choose that anyway. He can choose between stone. He doesn't need any cathedral resources. And iron. So we would go down to gold, but he can't choose gold. So I don't know what he chooses here. Whatever he's got least of, say. 3, 4, 5. He's got 5 of each, typical. Roll the dice. If you know the answer, you can correct me. Odds, evens. He is taking iron. So he gets 5. A lot of iron. And he's doing the king action again, which is 3 points. 1, 2, 3. He's going to get 6 for that. Unfortunately for me. Then, again, he's got no pillars anywhere. He's got no unused crests. He's got no incomplete contracts. He doesn't get anything else. So, king track. I get a point. He gets 6 points. We don't get reset back. He is first player again, though. And he gets the bonus tile. Then, this is going to reset. We've got a lot of refreshing to do in the old... Oh, wait a minute. I'm skipping the fair, aren't I? They're shuffled, though. The fair. I am in Bordeaux. So, and he just bypasses that. 5 times your houses. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 1, 2, 3. So I get 20 points. He gets 15. So right now it is 105 to 129. Fingers crossed. That's it for the fair, isn't it? So we're done with that. He doesn't want that card anymore. And so we want completed houses. All I need to do, I need 4 character action points. Get him, put him in there. And then we've got to find the crest and get the food and stuff. That's another matter for these points here and for the pluses on your actions. I don't see that happening, though. Okay, we've done all of that. Let me make sure I get all of the refresh phase stuff. Fill up your bonus tiles. So what have we got here? Got some merchants. That's not bad, is it? Architect for doing contracts. Coins and points. Something, isn't it? 1 of each resource. Minus gold. And a crest I have. Unfortunately, that's the one I picked up last time. And the one going in the... So I wonder if you wouldn't get one in the King's bonus phase if like more had been taken from there because it'd be empty. Because it said in the 4th round that's going to be empty, but I've got a tile here, so I'm going to pop it there. 2 resources. That's half a point, potentially, if you've got 2 more hanging around. So, we've done all of that. We've shuffled the corruption tokens, and 3 are coming out there. Then, dice back to the bag. So he's nearly completed another house. He's got someone that's been waiting in the wings for quite a while, I think. And what's going out? We've got... There's 3. I don't know why I'm pulling 3 more out like it needs to be 6. Because it needs to be 8. So both pinks came out, but I would have liked higher numbers. 3 does correspond... Oh, I haven't turned it. 3 does correspond to the king action. Not a bad thing. I'd maybe do that. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 3. Ooh! That's a bit of a restrictive wheel. Oh no. I wish I had taken that bonus character point because here, even with my +1, it's giving me 1, 2 action points. I need 3 to get the person in the house that I want. Ooh, so how are we going to do that? I mean, there are more bonuses available for, you know, get the bonus of the people, but it's in Colne. I mean, there is potential for getting merchants about it, and the 3, 5 action points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then more to build later. I wouldn't mind iron. I mean, if you did the architect action here, there's probably stuff to be done with architects, and that would give me the iron to fulfill this and the contract I would get from this thing there. And the last contract is a bonus 12 points. This one's a bonus 7 points. That's loads. There's a lot to be done, but shouldn't worry about it too much. Have I done all of the bits? I think so. Shouldn't worry about it too much until... Oh, he's a fair way in front of me here, isn't he? Shouldn't worry about it too much until Cardinal has done his first turn. Because we don't even know what's going to be there. He is doing a 3 difference. Now, if he rolls loads, we just ignore the extra roll, I'm assuming. Now he's got no numbers left. Don't tell me the setup, we're past that. I don't know. I assume he's just going to do that thing all the time. So the highest die number of any colour. He's taking me character. I can spend gold, can't I, to adjust that? He's taking me character action away. And 7 gold he's getting. He probably would have done that anyway, though. Character action. Only if there'd have been a 1 difference, I suppose, he would have done an architect action. So, what's he doing? He's got 1 action point. He throws away the bonus tile, the beautiful merchant movement. He's got 1 point, so he can't put his character in the house. He just needs to get someone different, and you're someone different, and you give 3 of something, so he will take you. New character comes out there, and that's his action point. You got loads of gold there, though. Still, no crest to put out, no contracts to finish, no pillars, or he could build a cathedral, so nothing extra there. Right. So based on the bonuses that are coming out here, I mean, it's only 6 more points for putting him in a house, because the crest could go in this house and complete this house and make it another completed one. That would be 4 completed houses, 10 points. Just, I don't know that I'm going to get a different crest and get the food to put it down. And you can put this one down here for just some points. And put your architect anywhere is the bonus of putting this one down. I would put the house anywhere, though, was to get us to Colne, wasn't it? I mean, there's potentially ways round, isn't there? We can be doing merchant and stop off in Strasbourg at some point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're in Frankfurt. You've got this +1. So then when you do the characters, you've got 3. But I need an extra one to get the man himself. Architect is going to be 2 points. So what would you do with 2 points on an architect? Nothing. Can't even grab a bonus tile. I could grab these 3 coins. It would be nice to move him anywhere first. Probably want to do this for the contracts, right? It's just the action points are holding me back. Because if you moved him anywhere first, which I could do. Why don't we do that? I haven't got the stone to build like a nice cathedral, though. No, I think you got excited about nothing there. Yeah, we could start out like put this crest out here and move the architect anywhere. Because we don't need the bonus tile for the merchant action. I would like to get the stone with it, especially with us moving the architect now. Then that's a finished house and we get +1 to contract actions, but that's kind of by the by. Because that's a lot of gold to move the dice over there. No, we're not going to be able to do the character actions. You can move them about and do some stuff, but generally I think we're just a bit stuck with that. We could just get some more pillars out though, couldn't we? Right. Relying on the merchant. How far do we need merchant to move? We've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in Frankfurt. You could do something else along the way. Brilliant. Okay. So we don't have to worry about putting the house anywhere. I'll put the crest anywhere. For 4 food. So 1, 2, 3, and 2 gold makes 4. That goes in there. You're now completed, and so I get +1 on contract actions. But I can put my architect anywhere. I'm going to put my architect here in Milano. Just because, like, if I can get that 4 stone, that's 14 points for 4 stone. I don't need stone for anything else. I'm probably not going to do any other cathedral. I might. And it's another pillar out, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll move you there. I'm taking the iron die. So that's 5 iron. And you only get 2 action points, though. That'll be okay. Yeah. So I get 5 iron. But we're about to spend a load. And the bonus contract. I'm going to pop a pillar in there. I hope to get some stone later. That's 1 action point. Second action point, we might as well move towards something. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, same. But going this way around, you might get this +1 that might help you out with something. I don't know if we're going to do another architect, though. So yeah, that's just that. And more pillars. It's pillars multiplied by houses for points at the end. But then over on the old action board here, 4 iron and 2 wool. So I've still got an iron spare. I'm going to fulfill these. So that's going to be 9 points plus 18 points. That's 27 points. There's all my pillars. I don't think I'm going to get them out. That's looking quite nice, I think. And we could... There's no bonus for having these left, I don't think. We might as well spend the 2 king points. Maybe that's going to be an action I do. Right. That's it. There's nothing more I can do right now. So, 2 corruption. And cardinal is going for 2 and 3, 1 difference. Has he got more houses than pillars? Yes. He does an architect action, which he can do. So stone, he gets 6 stone. No, that's not stone, that's wool. He gets 6 wool. Light grey. And he gets 2 +1. He's finally using it. He gets 3 action points on his architects. He hasn't done an architect action yet, has he? So, first of all, put a pillar where he is. There we go. He's where he started. Then, take the best bonus tile within reach, within 3 spaces. Well, 1, 2, 3. These are the only spaces, and I know his top priority above all else is crests. So, he takes that crest. He's going to get to do that. Then he moves to the best cathedral, preferring one within reach, extending his reach with gold if needed. So the best cathedral is in terms of points first, within reach, 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. That one's worth 10 points. 1, 2, 3. Well, he goes here then to Leon. 1, 2, 3. And he doesn't need to extend his reach. Okay, now he's going to have some extra things to do. So first of all, activating crests, 3 food for 5 points. He can do that. 6 gold. Turns into 3 food. He's got another crest out. That's another 5 points. Then, can he build cathedrals? Yes, because he's put a pillar down. Has he got 2 stone? Yes, he has. He gets 3, 4 points because he's come here late. Where is he? But he's built in a cathedral now. And then, can he fulfill contracts? No. I think that's it. Okay. So if he can do another character action, which I don't think he can, He's got gold if he would move things, but I don't think he does that. Like, will he spend gold to move dice? I don't think he generally does. Yeah, you just keep moving on. You just keep moving along the cards until he just takes the best die. I don't think he spends gold for that reason. Okay. Well, that was all him, wasn't it? So he's got some points there, but second action then. So I was going to go for merchant, wasn't I? Because getting the crest, the only thing I can do is this, and I'm going to need like a load of gold to swap things over, and I'm not going to get that gold, am I? Really? Well, I'd need one more gold, and then you could swap that to Joker and choose, like, character with Joker, and then that would fill the house. That would be another 6 points, and it's another house available and stuff. But surely, we need to do a merchant action. But I can't take that bonus or throw it away. He could, if he already had this bonus, he's allowed to throw them away. But I'm not. So maybe it's best to do the king action first. I would get the bonus of one of each non-gold resource. And move up 6 spaces on the king track. Be in the front of that, get some more points. Every house is worth 4 points because I've got 4 pillars. Just thinking, like, I could potentially do 2 merchant actions and put out my 3 houses. Because I don't really need these 2 resources, do I? It's really, I don't see how I could get the crest. But I don't want to forget about the merchant action. Oh, I wanted stone, didn't I? So I could build in there. So maybe you'd want to do it just for that. To get the 4 stone and build in Milan. Because he might take that and then there's no way of getting stone. Yeah, let's do this first then. Because the bonus is nice, but if it was an action, I'd be there. But it's just one of each of the resources. So I'm going to go here and get 4 stone. Spend it straight away on the Milan Cathedral. 14 points for 4 stone doesn't sound so bad. And then the action itself is 5 merchant points. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me to Frankfurt. I could get this +1 for whatever action I do next, but let's just build where I am because this is miles away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then if I don't do this again, I'm there anyway. But if I do merchant again, I'm right next to loads of places that could have houses built on them. Rather than leaving it down here where this is in the middle of nowhere. There are spaces about. I could have just gone there and built and then next time tried to go to the points ones. But no, we'll do it this way. Can't do any extra fancy things. So, corruption for the last time. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now it would be even better moving up because of the points I'm losing, I guess. I could probably afford that. Okay, Cardinal. For the last time, what are you up to? He's taking the highest die of any colour. He's taking me merchant die. So he's getting himself 5 wool. He does get to trade those in for points as well. All those resources he's got. And he's getting 5 merchant points. So first of all, can he build a house where he is? Because I could have swept in there as well, actually, thinking about it. But he would get to zoom out somewhere else, so probably best that he builds somewhere that doesn't get him a load of bonus points. So he builds... He can still build, so he would have to spend gold to move. if he's in somewhere where he can't build a house, he gets to move for no action points, but he does have to spend gold for every space he moves. So he builds where he is, takes the best bonus tile within reach, which is 3 spaces away. Bonus tiles. 1, 2, 3. I think it's just this Strasbourg one. This crest too far away. Yep, it's just going to be that one. So he just throws that away and moves to the best available town, preferring one in reach first. So first of all, next upcoming fair, he'll try to get to Frankfurt if that's 3 away. Hey, there we go. He can build in Frankfurt as well, so it's valid. So that's kind of nice. He hasn't gone to a victory point space, which he could have reached. So he's in Frankfurt, playing by the rules, I like to see. And then, got no crests, got no contracts, got no other thing. So, pillars. No, he's already built where he's in the only place that he's got a pillar. So then, it's my action, isn't it? Which, well, can you guess? I haven't got any gold. I haven't left myself with any gold. So, it's going to have to be a king action. I don't think, since I'm not getting a crest or anything, it really doesn't matter which resource I pick, because it's all getting added up together anyway at the end. I'm getting 3 food, and then 1 of each. Oh, I'll drop my food. Then 1 of each as the bonus tile. And then we're getting 4, 5, 6 king movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll get another 2 here. Maybe that'll give me another point. Not the best comborific ending, but you know, there were only dice on half of the actions. He took my character 1 as well. Right, so I think that is it. Last king phase. Should this be empty and I get 4 more points? I don't think it's going to matter. I get 4 points. He gets 1. And I get these 2 resources, I assume. Or maybe you just get the 4 points because you can only turn them in on your turn, so it wouldn't make sense to get 1. Is that what I'm missing? Skip this phase in the final round, yeah. I don't really know. I'm just going to give myself 2 resources. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I should have had more points if it should have been the 4 points. So maybe it's going to be a tiebreaker, but I become first player, and he gets reset to 3 points, doesn't he? And then in the fair phase, completed houses, 6 points each. He has completed 1 house. Is full of people. Well, it's not completed houses, it's full houses. Completed means you need the crest as well. That's not the requirement for this bit. It's the requirement for this bit later. So just houses full of people, 6 points each. So he has done 1, that's 6 points. I have done 1, 2. Does that count? I'll say it doesn't. I won't do my pre-printed one. As long as we're both doing the same, it's the same difference in it. Maybe we should both have had 6 more points for the... Does this house count for him? Does this house count for me? 1, 2, 3, 4 times 6 is 24. And then, well, I can get clarification, can't I? It's completely filled with character tiles, so I guess not. I'm going to say letter of the law, it doesn't include that house. So then, that's the fair taken care of. So end of game scoring, I don't think it's massively different for the Cardinal. But just to make sure, he has got an end of game bit. Multiply his houses by pillars. Oh, you score normally and he scores in this way. Multiply its houses by its number of pillars. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 houses, but 1 pillar. So that's 4 points. Then if he has 1 or more unfulfilled contracts, he converts all of his stone and food into gold and then tries to fulfill those contracts. He never took an unfulfilled contract, he just got to do them, didn't he? A point for every 4 leftover resources, just like me. So he has got 10, 20, 24, 27. So 24 is going to be 6 points, isn't it? Dividing it by 4. I don't think he's going to do it. Although, to be fair, I've held him back, haven't I? So, for me, number of houses multiplied by number of pillars. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses and 4 pillars. So that's 20 points. 200 time. Then completed houses. So full of people and got the crest. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 10 points. And then every 4 resources is a point. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So another 2 points. Didn't quite lap him. Didn't quite fulfill my character dreams. But I think, in case of a tie, first in turn order wins. That's why we do that at the very end. But there we go. That is, with the caveat, smashing him by quite a lot, but with the caveat of, playing easy difficulty. I think we could have stepped it up, actually, as soon as we get through the first round. I was worried that I'd keep forgetting symbols and that I would drag on too much explaining things, but we could probably do it. We could do it one day, not anytime soon, because if you see the rest of this week's schedule, and wait till you see next week's schedule, it's Essen Central. It's do a new game every day. But yeah, this is easy difficulty. Have one of these cards. So you know how he got an extra thing every time he got a resource, he got an extra one. That's one of the challenge cards that he had. So we could have had extra things. Will this zoom in nicely on the page here? So he could have had things like ecclesiastical income. When the cardinal bot takes an action helper tile, he gains points equal to the action points he would have got on the tile. So he doesn't actually use them, but doesn't just throw them away anymore. Or whispers in the king's ear. When he takes an action helper tile, he advances a space on the king track. So like loads of different things that when they kind of pile up, it means he isn't throwing away as much. He's getting more things. He'd be more to compete with. And once he, just for that whispers in the king's ear one, as soon as he steps forward, as soon as he remember when we reset between rounds, you only reset back to 0 if you're below 0. If he gets to 12, 15 in round 2 or something, because he keeps taking loads of bonuses and doing the action, he's staying there. So you're going to have a lot of work to try and catch up to him. But yeah, loads and loads of different things in there. I think there's is there 13? Or is there 8? No, there's 13 decrees because he's got these cards for every potential fair that might come out. So his display of 6 cards is the 4 fair bonus tiles we're using, and he's got different priorities according to those. And then these 2, Everlasting Fame and Worldly Riches. And then he's got a selection of 8 challenge cards, of which we only played with 1 for easy difficulty. But you can, does it just say in setup how many? Normal would be 3 of these. Hard would be 5 of these. So yeah, you can see the more, it's giving him more things. That would have been a bit of a nasty combo, actually. Because yeah, every time he got these, you would have to try and slide these out from underneath him, because he would say something that gave him 3 extra action points. That would give him 3 points and a step up the movement track, and he would throw away the tile still, and you wouldn't get it. But yeah, as he gets more and more things, you can see it's kind of piling up and getting in your way more. But yeah, it's nice that you don't have to entirely focus on these things, but he is kind of getting in your way and prioritizing the fair tiles. There's still a bit of randomness in there because it's the difference in these 2 dice, but yeah, chances are that his priority is going to be if not the very next fair tile, one that is coming up. So he is still kind of, you know, making like medium and long-term plans like you might do. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's you can see from the beginning bit, there's a lot to try and explain in the beginning, and there is a ton of like there's definitely potential for AP and stuff in there, because there's tons of kind of exploding actions. There's like this, but oh, this gives me this helper tile, so I will pause spending these 6 action points to spend these 3 action points. Oh, I've got one from previous round, and this adds 1 to my main die thing. And so yeah, lining things up right, you could end up having these massive turns and thinking for ages about what the best course of action will be, which the Cardinal can quite nicely get in the way of. And in a solo game, don't have to worry about annoying anyone else, do you? You can just sit here and have a think. I did win, Matt. Yeah, it was close fought game. Let's spare him the shame. Well, actually, if I cover those up, he's won, hasn't he? But yeah, there we go. That is like asterisk. I might have got things wrong. Subtitles, well, not subtitles. Comments. Let me know if you watch it back, and you're like, how did you get this wrong? I will say, there's like 1 billion Essen games coming out. Well, I'm not doing 1 billion, am I? There's a lot. There's a lot of rules floating around my head, but I think we did a fairly good go of it. But yeah, let me know in the future, and if the rules are a bit wonky and he should have won in some way, only a game, innit? Don't worry about that. If there's a comment to make, you could be nice about it. Most people are, though. You don't see the nasty ones. I don't see the nasty ones, really. But yes, that is Tiletum. For now, maybe it'll be back one day, if you desire it. But not anytime soon, because things are jam-packed. This is going to be out at Essen, which is just over a week away. Unbelievably. And yeah, amongst other things, we're going to be showing off also next week Terracotta Army, which is another of Board&Dice's newer games, which will be available there. If you're not going to Essen, then I'm sure it will be available from Board&Dice pretty soon, if not already, to pre-order or order, and it'll be making its way into shops as usual, probably in the very near future too. And if you're wondering about the multiplayer and stuff, just imagine what I did, doubled up, and don't worry about all of this flowchart stuff. But as always, like, worry if you just saw like even just the first round, it might look like there's loads of flicking through this book and just checking through all of this text. But really, once you've destroyed the board, once you've gone through like the action a time or two, you know his things, and most of that stuff isn't necessary. You might need to flick through it if you're like, oh, actually, I don't know. Like there's a clash I haven't thought of. How does that resolve? And yeah, a lot of the time you just need to play around. But hey, we will be back at 5 o'clock, just under 24 hours time, 5 p.m. BST, for Village Rails, which is a new card game making a little grid of railways by Matthew Dunstan and Brett Gilbert. It's very exciting, a very, very tight little puzzle of getting these networks together, but also you build in this grid, and you can also take cards you need cards that will get you income based on what you've done in a row or column, but there are also cards that define the scoring of that row and column. You'll see it all. It's great. So yes, we'll be seeing that tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Join me for that. There'll be more things on the other days. Thursday's Revive. Friday is Vengeance Roll and Fights. Look on the social medias for when they're going to be. And next week, there's even more stuff. What is there? There's Terracotta Army. There's Oak. There's more things. 11 is supposed to be coming. I've got word that Discordia is on the way. I don't know if they'll arrive in time for Essen. The plan is that they will arrive in time for Essen. There's supposed to be a top 10 Essen anticipated games, but hey, that's I just about put them out of my mind to concentrate on this. Let's forget about the panic-inducing bits and focus on it's Village Rails tomorrow. That's all we need to do. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. If you'd like to help me with this madness of doing all of these games all of the times, then Patreon and Ko-fi would be fantastic visits. The link's in the description. And yeah, the channel. If you want to give it a subscribe, then there's hundreds, probably coming up on 700 playthroughs on here at this point. There's at least 650. Probably not far away from that 700 mark. Thank you so much for watching, though, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.